Yo, 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 welcome back to the Bring the Heat podcast. Go get your ice packs and your cold glasses of milk. You're going to need it.
What up?
What up?
What up? What up?
Bashar, you're muted.
Little fancy schmancy there with the intro there, buddy.
You like that?
Yeah, it's cool, man. You like that?
That's what I was trying to have uploaded last 3 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
And I couldn't get it to happen. So today I got new internet. I got all that. And bang, there we go.
There
You're
you go.
moving up in the world.
There you
Moving on to that deluxe apartment in the sky.
go. The Jeffersons, everybody. For those who don't know.
Oh, such a great show. I was more of a Red Fox type of guy. We got Terrordome in the building. What's up, Terrordome?
Terror.
What up?
Sanford and Son, huh? You're more of a Sanford and Son guy, more so than
Sanford and Son.
Jeffersons.
Oh, we got Steve-O in the building. So
Hey,
Sanford and
Steve-O.
Son, my mom used
Steve-O.
to drink Cold Duck. And it was funny. One time they said something on there, something about him and the Cold Duck. And I was like, oh, Mom, you're never going to live this down. You drink what Red Fox drinks. You know what I mean? Because she would only drink once a year, but it would be the Cold Duck. And you knew because like you'd stay at Grandma's house one evening, and then the next day there'd be a half bottle of Cold Duck in the fridge, and you knew Mom was out getting hammered the night before. So
your upbringing is way different than mine. I don't even know what Cold Duck is, man.
Me either.
it's like a wine or something. I don't. We got Jess from East Coast Red and Gold podcast in the house. What up, Jess?
Hey,
What up,
Jess.
Jess?
They got a great show.
Yeah, I had a blast
over there.
hanging out with Jess at the game and next to her mom for a good portion of the game. And
Yeah,
her
we'll have
mom
to get into that.
her mom's hilarious. She should have been in one of in those 80s movies like I don't know. She's like I'm talking like Golden Girls hilarious. It's like she's so funny.
Like picture it, 1982.
Something like that.
What's up, TL?
We got TL in the house. What up, TL?
TL.
That is Miriah's partner on the show or co-host. Sorry, probably shouldn't. It was bad.
Partner in
What was
crime.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, partner in crime. We got 49ers throwback in the building.
What's up, throwback?
Throwback.
Cold Duck is pretty smooth. Terrordome says.
Tara knows what it is. All right.
Yeah, it was a thing back in the day. Well, let's kick into that. Tell us about the experience at the game, and then we could get into what we thought of the game. So tell me about the experience sitting with all the other content creators and whatnot, and then going on to the field afterwards. Did you meet Steve Young also?
Oh yeah, I mean the whole experience at the game. Thank you. Gotta really give a huge shout out to Jess because I did already on Twitter, but just again, first time doing it on a live YouTube channel. She set the whole thing up. It's called the Gold Mine section, and it's like a designated cheering section for the stadium to get everybody pumped up, and it was a really fun experience. It just meeting Ty Alston, met Bryant, met David McNider, met Jess, met Becky, or Becca. I think that's Bex is what they call her. I forgot her nickname. Might be skipping. Oh, Brandon was there for Forever Faithful podcast. I met him before. Bex, there you go. Bex, yeah, she was there. Ran into Raj at one point. He wasn't in our section, but I ran into him. And Brandon for Forever Faithful podcast was also there. It was just a lot of fun, and not just the content creators, just everybody in that whole section was really cool. There were people from Virginia, from Connecticut, all over. So it was really cool. And the game itself got off to a little bit of a slow start, but just the whole game experience was fun. The weather was really good. The view from where we were sitting was pretty decent. And yeah, we got to go on the field after the game, and lo and behold, they got to beat Steve Young, and so did a whole bunch of other people. And was really, really cool.
That's awesome. It looks like everybody had fun. I was looking at all the pictures, having FOMO.
How could you not?
Having
How could you
FOMO.
not? How could you not
I
have
use that
FOMO
word.
or just like, not just miss, just like, it was a moment. You know what I mean?
I told Jess put me in her suitcase next time.
Right? I'm sure Jess will figure something out. That, if you buy the luggage, doesn't Vegas got like sales on luggage all the time?
The body bag luggage.
Just have her do like what is it? Layover. Just have her do a layover in Vegas, and then she just comes on with another luggage.
Yeah, I forgot to mention Tony Cole Bryant's wife was there. Laura was there, and I might be missing somebody else. That's a chatter that was on there. But yeah, it was just a lot of fun. We had a good time. And I ran into TJ McKinney, the guy who does the podcast with Jason Massey, Smash guy, whatever it's called.
Oh,
yeah. I ran into him really quick.
Massey.
Yeah, I ran into E40's brother, Be Legit, on the concourse. Pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah, it was really, really quick. He was just a whole bunch of people were walking, coming and going. Nobody really walked up to him or recognized him, but I was like, oh, he was literally right in front of me. I was like, hey, what's up, man? I really enjoy your music. And he shook my hand, and that was about it. It was cool. Terry Dome calls me Ferris Bueller because I guess he thinks it's funny when I get to meet all these people and stuff like that and take pictures with them. So I don't know.
I know Bashar kind of got it like, not as good as Jess. Jess got it. She knows where people gotta be.
She gets pictures with Kyle Shanahan and the whole team.
I told her they should know her by now. Shit.
Yeah, well, she knows a lot of people in the organization. Actually, she was on the field during the game at one point, and they had her on the big screen, the jumbotron, and they were asking her questions and all this stuff. And yeah, Jess is everywhere.
It's awesome.
Sure is.
And it was a win, so that's even better.
Sure was. Yeah, awesome. Home opener. Thursday night football.
Home opener.
What was the best part of the game for you, and what was the worst?
Best part of the game. Well, my favorite play was the Debo play, if that's what you're asking me. Worst part of the game was just seeing Brock Purdy make mistakes at the beginning, and I was just at the beginning I was like, okay, whatever, not that big of a deal. But then it was like it kept happening, and I was like, okay, this isn't good. And then a few of them were almost interceptions. I was like, okay, not good. And I was like, hey, let me just grab my phone. I bet Ted's going off on Twitter right now. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but eventually, I still had faith in Brock that he'd overcome it. So that was good. That was good, and we eventually did. He just had whatever. I don't know. He had some type of butterflies and stuff. I don't know what he had going on.
I think it was how they were attacking him, because if you notice, he had good drives in the middle of some of those things too. I think he was confused, like on the first drive, on how they were trying to attack him, and then they came up with a good plan, and he understood what he was supposed to do, and then he came down the field, and like it was nothing. They score, and then it seems like he goes and has trouble again. Like they already made corrections on him. You know what I mean? And now he's like, okay, where are we at? It was like every other drive almost. It was like starting over from scratch.
You know what I did hate about the game more so than those incompletions or whatever was just that it kind of took me back to the Jimmy era just a little bit when we were in position to score touchdowns and we were kicking field goals. I was like, come on, man, let's get these TDs on the board, man. But Bryant was sitting right behind me. He was wearing his Moody shirt, so he was loving it each and every time Moody was kicking up field goals. And I took a video of him celebrating a Moody field goal, yelling out, "It's Moody season."
Is he the only Moody jersey that you saw there?
I walked around a lot. That was, to my knowledge, that was the only Moody jersey that I saw. I don't know if Bryant saw another one or if anybody else did, but he's been performing, man. He's been nailing his kicks.
Mm-hmm.
We ragged on him a bit for whatever happened in the preseason, but he shook it off, and hey, he's ready to play now.
Yep, he's been money Moody for sure.
It looks like Terradome is asking Bryant Culp to buy him lottery tickets. Around $20 worth of lottery tickets.
Yeah, somebody in LA won the Powerball already. I think it was yesterday or today or something. But oh well.
Did you see what Steve-O said?
What did he say?
At 6'11" about Ted.
I saw that. I saw that. Yeah.
Ted is even keel, whatever that means.
Is that an inside joke? I don't know why I don't get the punchline.
No, because Ted's always going off like a fucking madman, and so for
I
him
know.
to say he's even keel is kind of hilarious.
Okay.
That's the joke.
Got you.
Yeah, I was
Hey,
on
Blitz.
with Ted. I was on with
Go
Ted
ahead.
earlier, and I had to kind of stick up for Brock Purdy and say, look, he was getting blitzes in his face. I think there's probably maybe about 8 quarterbacks in the league who could operate at that level under those situations, and he's one of them. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
it's not like he's the best one out of all those, but he's one that can operate and function under those types of stresses. So, you know, I can't be mad at that because it seems, and like Terradome says, blitz him 45% of the passes.
Oh,
I can't remember.
85%.
85. What did I say? 45?
45.
Mhm.
My bad. I'm still getting over a cold. Leave me alone. No, but
And
yeah,
I kept
85%.
thinking
I
the whole
sounded like I had a
time.
cold after the game for about 3 or 4 days after the game. My voice was terrible, by the way.
I kept thinking the whole time that if that was Jimmy back there, we would have been in deep shit
Well, we saw what
numerous
happened in the
times.
Raider game.
Like you saw that even with Brock being blitzed that much, he was still calm as could be back there. He didn't have no nervous feet, no jittery. He wasn't, just moving up, taking care of business. Like he didn't look flustered. He didn't look, none of the shit that we used to see from Jimmy. And Jimmy could have a 3-man rush and he'd be back there freaking acting jittery. Like, what the hell, And like we never see that from Brock.
There's a calm, cool, collective essence with Brock.
Calm as a cucumber.
And when I watch the games at home, I'm not shouting out bad words. Or I'm not throwing pillows around the room, or
I'm not puking.
I'm not sending voice messages to my friends where I'm swearing and cussing or whatever. I'm pretty calm. Like even if there are bad things that do happen within the course of a game,
I used to get those messages.
Oh yeah. A lot of people have got my bad messages during games.
Can you believe this motherfucker?
That's me. That's me. I way worse than that though. So trust me, when Jimmy's on the field. But it's like, even if Purdy will make mistakes, he doesn't show to me that like he doesn't belong there. He still shows me that, okay, I messed that up, but don't worry, guys, I got this. That's the impression he's giving me. That's the vibe he's giving me, and I still feel calm about that. And hopefully, we'll have that going on throughout the playoffs too. So we'll see. It should be fun.
Yeah, it's amazing that I have more, faith and more, like I feel such a calmness, with him at quarterback than having a quarterback that had been in the league years and years and years already. You would think it would be the other way around, that we have this young quarterback that hasn't even played a full year, in the NFL. And yet he's calm as could be, acting like this ain't his first rodeo. He's been here, done that, like nothing phases the kid back there. And it's just like complete opposite than what you think it would be.
And with the guy we had before, Jimmy, I mean, he sat behind Tom Brady. He was coached under Belichick. So his resume it was quite extensive before we even got him, We're pretty, sure he played 4 years in college, but there's plenty of quarterbacks that had played 4 years in college. And, regardless of where they're drafted, they still step in and they don't look as calm and ready and prepared as Purdy does for whatever strange reason. And some people thought it may have been a fluke or whatever, and there have been fluky things that go on in this league, but and then the injury happened. But it doesn't seem like it's a fluke. He seems like the same guy after the injury. A lot of people look way different after the injury, so I'm feeling good about this quarterback. I really am. And when I go on with Ted on Friday, if he does have anything to say, I'll try my best to defend Purdy, because you know what, Purdy deserves it. Every game in and game out, we're putting up the 30, the Purdy 30, and I can't complain so far. We're 3-0. So
yeah, even you
Brock
talked about
with his 30 rock.
You talked about us kicking the field goals for a while there, and not putting up touchdowns, and yet we still ended up with 30 points, so
exactly.
I don't think we could be mad at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. And it should get better from here on out. I mean, At least the game before that, at least Purdy was trying to fire in a few deep shots here and there, missed a few, and then he did hit the one on with Jennings, which was cool. That was nice, but eventually I think he's going to start hitting some of those passes. Our receivers are open for the most part, and let's remember, Ayuk didn't even play this past game, so Ayuk wasn't even there, and we still found a way to make things happen. And nice to see Ronnie Bell get his first NFL touchdown, by the way.
Yeah.
Very, very nice throw, very nice catch. And I mentioned the Debo play earlier. That was a really, really nice throw to Debo. That was a dart and great catch and great. Nice to see Debo step up and do those type of plays in Ayuk's absence, by the way.
Yeah, Debo's looked great. Shout out to him because he really, not only showed up, in shape, but you can tell he really took last season personal because he showed up looking like 2019 Debo. Or 2000 whatever, whenever he went crazy. And yeah, it's awesome. Like, I don't think this team with Debo being, Debo, the Debo that we know he can be, and CMC, like it makes this team very hard to defend.
And we got to see a good dose of Kittle, right? This past game, that was good to see. About 90 yards. Yeah,
and he looked like Kittle too, carrying guys down the field. Nobody could tackle him.
And I don't know, is Ryan frozen or what's up, Ryan? You want to read that comment?
Am I frozen?
No, you weren't. Were you going to read the comment?
He's just taking
Sure. Think about Jimmy G was making more money than Kyle, and this is why Jimmy had an ego. Remember when he said Kyle plays suck?
Your plays suck,
against
man.
The Broncos, and he was. I mean, when you're playing that bad in the game, like really, dude. I mean, we go back and watch the film. I mean, Kyle does deserve criticism from time to time in certain situations. I understand that he's not perfect, and I've criticized him before too. But one thing Kyle's been pretty damn consistent at. If you go back and watch films, even in games we've lost, it's very rare that you go and look at a play or for the majority of the game where receivers aren't getting open. I mean, there was one play where it looked like Purdy. I think he threw it out of bounds, or he may have gotten sacked. I forgot what happened actually, but on that play, I literally said, like, I don't think anybody was open. That was like a rare occurrence, though.
Hey, B.
Planet Brock. Planet Brock.
Don't stop.
Africa Babada.
Brock,
that's good.
Planet Brock.
Hey, Terry, you could put that song together and make it happen, man. What's up, Brandon? Hey, Brandon, I like that dance you did at that wedding intro, man. You were getting down, dude. You're all shuffling your feet, and man, dude, you got to put that up on your social media. That was a dance for the ages, Brandon. I was impressed.
I was wondering how he was going to be able to watch the game from his car or from his truck.
What do you mean watch the game from his truck?
Wasn't he always doing shows in his
truck?
I thought they were just gonna let him pull up on one of the
he was sitting
where they let the ambulances in and out of.
He was sitting 2 seats away from me with his dad. So
he didn't take his grandma.
When I met Brandon,
didn't take his grandma. Oh,
right.
Brandon.
When I met Steve, Brandon and I were right with each other when we met Steve Young, so it was pretty fun, and I had a really good time hanging out with Brandon and his dad.
Did he push his dad out of his way and meet Steve Young first?
No, he didn't.
Like elbow him in the ribs real quick, and then shoot in front as he's like trying to collect himself off to the side there. Hey, Dad, look who this is. Appreciate you. So anybody got anything else about the Giants game that they wanted to cover?
It was nice. It was nice to see some running backs, get used. Elijah Mitchell had 11 carries. We saw what's his freaking face?
Jordan
Mason. Oh my God, I was drawing a blank. Jordan Mason come in and even get a couple carries at the end there. So CMC still had a lot of touches. He had 18 carries plus 5 receptions. So, still over that 20 mark, but I'm glad that they had at least some of the usage getting spread around because, like the week before, nobody else got any touches. So to have a short week, I was really scared. Like, come on, Kyle, don't let this shit happen again. And we actually seen some usage, even though Elijah Mitchell doesn't look like Elijah Mitchell. I don't know if he had one too many injuries or he's just not 100% or what, but like it seemed like before, when every time he touched the ball, like he was getting, some, like he would fall forward at least, like it would never be like 3-4 yards. It'd always be like an extra 7-8 yards. Like he was a great runner before. And I just feel like I don't know, not that he's been terrible, or anything, but just that he just hasn't looked like himself.
Yeah, there was one play where Elijah Mitchell had some explosion and picked up a good amount of yards, but for the most part, I am with you on the Elijah Mitchell thing. Hopefully, he bounces back to what he was. 11 carries, 42 yards, 3.8 yards a carry.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing too spectacular with that. I want to talk about defense really quick. Bosa almost had a safety where he sacked Daniel Jones. I believe when he first made contact with Daniel Jones, I believe it was like on the 1.5 yard line. So because of forward progress, he went to the end zone due to forward progress. So I see why there wasn't a safety. I understand, but it was very close. Javon Hargrave had a sack. So that was good to see. You know what I want to know? Did you guys know that, I didn't notice it the first game until after I saw the film. And then I started noticing it again in the Rams game. And in this past game, I noticed it. Kinlaw is actually looking kind of good in little spurts. I don't know if you guys have seen what I've seen, but he's not doing too bad. You could take PFF with a grain of salt or whatever, but he's got a pretty good PFF rating so far. I know it's early in the season or whatever, but it's a decent. It's somewhat of an indication that he's definitely improved, because usually his PFF rankings were pretty shitty. 85.3 is not bad. He's a contributor. He's not somebody that is going to play all the snaps, but at least we're finally getting some type of production out of him. And I don't know what Steve was saying about me in the chat. Bashar, real name, or how it comes about. I don't know what that is. Real name. I don't know. I don't know what name you're talking about.
Bashar, maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, I agree about Kinlaw. I was reading something earlier, and he's like only has like 3 pressures or 4 pressures less than Hargrave, and they're pretty up there in the list. Where like the rest of the pressures are in the NFL. Like they're like, I think Hargrave was like 4th or somewhere on the list, and Kinlaw is just like 2 below him or something. So really close. So yeah. And even when they asked Shanahan about it, he was like, if this is the best that he's seen from Kinlaw, he talked about that, yes, obviously, because this is the healthiest that he's seen him. This is the first, real training camp, the first, real off season that he actually had to be able to work on his craft instead of being, just rehabbing. So he was able to put in that extra time, and it's showing so far.
Yeah, hopefully it lasts. Hopefully it's not a fluke. and I know a lot of us have criticized him, and we've been very disappointed with him. So yeah, at the end of the day, we need him to contribute just as much as other people do. Is Bashar your real name, or how you come up with it? That's my name. That's my first name, bro. I didn't make it up. The rumors are not true. So yeah, I was like, for example, like a guy like Kalia Davis, a backup defensive lineman that we were trying to develop. Like, I thought he was going to overtake Kinlaw in the mix, and we haven't even seen him being activated for games. So maybe Kinlaw is finally coming around a little here and there. So okay, cool, we'll take it.
Agree.
And his, like, for example, people that say, well, he didn't get a sack or he didn't get tackles. It's not necessarily about that, because a lot of what I've seen from him so far in terms of a positive manner, and that looks like an improvement. I just see him beating his man, and therefore it just helps the other guys make plays. So as long as we see more of that, we should be good. And there was another play that got me excited pretty much in the game. It was a little bit of a tip drill, but Fred Warner tipped it up in the air, and Hufanga got another interception. That was pretty cool to see.
Yep.
Real quick, in the chat, let me know if the name Bashar was a product. What product would it be?
A product? It's like a...
Yes, because once I started thinking, and I was like, I thought like your intro song, Bashar.
Oh,
And
okay,
I was just
okay.
thinking, like, that's a man's cologne. You know what I mean? There's a
Oh, okay,
waterfall in the
okay.
background. It's kind of dark and this and that. And you got somebody saying Bashar.
Or almost like a fine wine or something like that, or
You know what I'm saying? But you know,
something. Yeah.
yeah. Bashar. Have you seen those videos of that
Shampoo.
chick no, there's this chick and she just like she says like the name of the car over and over again, but she like
Mhm.
flicks and like runs her fingers down the
That's how
thing.
advertising works, man. They
Volvo.
plant that. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. It could be
Volvo.
something. Hey, well, hey, we could be on to something.
Volvo.
I should make t-shirts or do something.
I just thought it was funny. Shampoo. Bryant says shampoo.
Shampoo.
Bashar shampoo. All right.
I don't know.
There you
Got
go.
Hey, show them those long, beautiful locks there, Bashar.
Not anymore. When I was a little kid, maybe. Yep.
bath bomb.
Bath bomb.
Brian Cope said something that he was trying to warn me before the game started, like, oh, I'm gonna apologize because my wife's gonna be really loud during the game, and they were sitting right behind me, but not once did I ever find them irritating or loud, or I didn't even notice it. And I totally forgot that he even told me that until he had mentioned on the show that he was trying to apologize for me. I'm like, I'll apologize for what I didn't. You guys didn't bother me. And I want you guys to be loud. I want people in the stadium to be loud.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, hey, Bryant, if I don't hear you, that's when I got a problem.
Yeah. Everybody
mean?
should be being loud.
Exactly.
Shit.
I hate it when people. Well, our section was the designated cheering section, so we were the first section. Like our section that we sit in, like there's guys in front of us like banging on cowbells, and they got these big bullhorns or whatever. And like we're starting all the chants in the stadium, so everybody else can follow our lead, basically. So, that's how it was. I said she was the loudest there. Really? Okay. That's what I didn't notice, but that's good. Good for her for being loud. That's awesome.
What everybody needs to know is after your first beer, you cut the bottom of the cup out, and then you yell through that, and it takes all your sound waves and it points them in this general direction. It doesn't make it louder; it just pinpoints it better, and that's how you can be effective. Just so you know.
Except that most of the beers
what
they
I
serve
did
now are in cans.
So when I was at a Niners Seahawks game on Christmas Eve, and we hadn't given up a rushing touchdown all year long, and we held Marshawn Lynch on the 6-inch line from not getting a touchdown, and then he ran one in that game from 20 yards out. Well, I had an obnoxious Seahawks fan in front of me, and so I had made one of those, and so sometimes I'd be going over the top of his head, so it wasn't like this. And sometimes I was hitting the back of his head, just the back of his head. You're going to hear all of this, buddy. Because he was hella obnoxious. And I was, look, I'm a good game type of person. Let's just sit here and let's watch a good game. Hey, if I think we got away with a penalty, I'll say that. I don't care. You know what I mean? It's not like the refs are going to like, wait, did Ryan just say that? Oh, let's, you know what I mean? They're not going to, I will admit that. When I think one's not a penalty, I'll say why it's not. You know what I mean? We can have a discussion. That's fine. You know what I mean? If I think there was a good play, I'm going to tell you. I was like, ooh, that's a good play. Because it is. Oh, shit.
Hey, speaking of penalties, you were asking what I didn't like about the game. I forgot to mention the penalties and the sloppiness for the players and some of the weak calls by the referees. That was really, really irritating. It slowed down the flow of the game too at times, and hopefully from here on out we don't see penalties like that in our games. It just sucks. And since you've been to Seattle games, is it really, really, really loud there, or that's just all hype?
No, it's loud.
Okay. David Corona's here. I saw that.
It's deafening. It's crazy stuff.
Oh, Brian Cope yelled
On
Sam
the field is
area.
crazy. Huh?
Brian Cope said he yelled Sam area. I'm pretty sure I heard you say that. He was on the field, right? Yeah, when Sam Darnold was taking snaps, and Tyrod Taylor was taking snaps at 1.2 for the Giants.
How many beers had Bryant had by this point?
I think he was the only one yelling Moody season too. Every time Moody made a
well,
kick,
we know
it's
that's
yelling
going to
Moody
happen
season.
sober
Yeah.
or drinking. That is the thing. But it seems like once he's been drinking, he turns into a Sam sexual a little.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
joking,
one more
Brian.
thing.
I'm joking.
Back to Brock. I like it. Tearing up said Planet Brock earlier. It's a reference to an old school hip hop song, but I didn't even know he threw for 310 yards until way after the game was over. So that's cool. He put up his 2 TDs. Usually he puts up at least 2 touchdowns and about 220 yards on average, maybe. But yeah, 310 yards. That's pretty. 25 for 37, 310, and I believe he was really efficient on third downs. I don't know what the exact numbers were, but that's pretty damn good for somebody who got criticized for having a bad game. I'll take that.
Yeah. Not bad at all.
Yeah, Steve, I use my right hand to shake hands all the time. Even if somebody's left-handed, I'm still gonna use my right hand. He's asked me if I shook Steve Young's hand with my left or something.
Yeah.
I'm right.
So, anyways, let's get back to the topics. Let's start with the contract extensions.
Oh, that's right. Some people weren't happy with that, by the way. Shout out to Dion from Niner Game Podcast. He made a whole show about it. Yeah.
I'm sure. I'm not
It did
necessarily.
surprise me, though. It did surprise me. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I was surprised too, because how many years did they have left on their contract? One or two or something?
Two more.
The soonest was going to be up in 25, and the other one's up in 26. I think Kyle's to 26 and John's to 25.
Yes, that's pretty. Yeah, I was shocked when the news came out. That was because we hadn't heard nothing, like nobody, it was something we weren't even, nobody's expecting nothing. And all of a sudden, like, oh, both have been extended. It's like, okay.
Why are they getting it?
I'm not mad at it. I know some people are really pissed, and there's a big group of people that thought Kyle and John should be on the hot seat soon because of the whole Trey situation.
Why do you think this came out?
Yeah, and then comes out that they're extended, so I guess they're not in the hot seat.
Yeah,
that was the big thing.
Mm-hmm. Some fans think that it's just a major handout for Kyle and John, and they can drop the ball and make as many mistakes as they want, and it doesn't matter because Jed's gonna give them whatever they want regardless, and there's gonna be no accountability for their mistakes, and so that's how some people see it. I mean, I'm not gonna go that far, but I still think it's early though. But whatever, it's not my money at the end of the day, and I have no control over it, so I'm not gonna cry over spilled milk. And I just hope that we can have some damn success. And when I say success, I mean some Lombardi. So we'll see. Yep. Oh, so a question for you, Miriah, from 49ers Throwback.
Well, we just talked about that.
Are you impressed with Javon Kinlaw?
I wouldn't say impressed, but I'm happy that he's doing something.
Yeah, so far so good. There was a knock on him before that he could never be a factor in the pass rush. And the little I have seen of him so far this year is he's been getting through in terms of collapsing the pocket. So I can't complain too much about Kinlaw. I just hope it's consistent. I hope it lasts. Fired Up 49ers is here. A good friend of mine lives over in Oregon. Says better go over 30 because we got Brock Purdy. Exactly. Hey, I'll take it, man. This offense is running quite well, you could say.
Yeah. No, so the contracts, I don't like it, but I'm not like fuming. I personally, I'd leave that carrot there. Somebody was saying earlier that you can't. I was saying I'd write out one contract and be like, look, this is the price, and once your contract is up, if you don't win a Super Bowl, that's what that's what you should be worth at that point in time, right? If you win a Super Bowl, well, here's what I'm willing to pay you.
Mm-hmm.
And the moment you win it, that'll be active. Somebody said, "Oh, Kyle's agent wouldn't throw it in his face," and it's like, well, if he's given a competitive offer for a coach that hasn't won a Super Bowl, what's the smash in the face for being shown that you could get more if you win a Super Bowl? I don't understand why you just give the horse the carrot, a third of the a sixth of the way through the journey.
That's a great point. It's almost like there's no. What you're basically saying is there's no incentive for them to work harder because they already got the gifts in hand already. So yeah. Other than pride, I mean, but who knows?
And to me, I would rather, knowing what's going on with the team, I would rather bank on me going to the Super Bowl in the next 2 years and winning it and being worth more money than to just sit there and do like a Kyler Murray and get a contract before I've even shown essentially that I'm worth it all. You know, not to say that he's not worth being our coach. I'm just saying like Kyler Murray wanted the Super Bowl winning quarterback freaking paycheck, and he's not, right? So this is the same thing with Kyle. It's a Super Bowl winning head coach, and you're not. Okay. So I just don't like it. I think it's poor management. You don't have to let them know they're on a hot seat. You don't have to let them know they're not on a hot seat. You could just let them sit there and just not say anything about it and just tell them, hey, Super Bowl. Every time they look at you, yeah, no problem. I'll do that. But Super Bowl. You just let them know what's
shuffle.
Right. What is in my mind? What is in my mind? Super Bowl. What's in your mind about your paycheck? I will take care of that. Believe you me. You just get me the one thing that I want. That's how you do it. And I don't understand why it's just give up on week 3 and be like, yeah, sure. You can mail it in for the rest of the season.
Because that's the thing that we want. Probably the one thing Jed wants, though, is money, not a Super Bowl. And Kyle and John have done nothing but bring money to Jed, to this organization, since they've been here and made this team relevant again.
True. Very true. This is a little off topic, but I want to address something that Bebop said in the chat. Said I'd love to see some Jason Verrett back for depth at least. Yeah, I think you may know this already, but if you don't, I'll run it by you. We did work out Jason Verrett about 4 days ago or 5 days ago, and they worked out some other corners as well. So I don't know who they're gonna pick up or sign, but just throwing it out there that they did do that. So I guess because of Samuel Womack being out due to MCL. So.
I don't want to see Jason Verrett go down on a field ever again. You know what I mean?
Same.
Appreciate the man too much to watch him destroy his body on the field again. And like sometimes you got to know when to just pack it in. And he's obviously got the heart of a lion, and he just can't. And it's a beautiful thing, but sometimes, man, you got to chill. You got to just let it go.
Yes, but it's just funny how this 49er team, like, it's like, okay, so after the whole Trey Lance press conference, for Kyle and John were acting kind of weird in that press conference. So some people by their body, their gestures and their emotions, the way they looked and the way they were acting, it just seemed like maybe they might have been told something by Jed or John or whatever. So people were kind of speculating, well, are they on the hot seat? What's going on here? They looked very uncomfortable during that press conference. They did not look normal. So, but then also a few weeks later we turn around. Oh, hey, here you guys go. Here goes your extensions. Nothing to worry about, buddies. Here we go. Just go ahead and make us money. So it is what it is. I just hope that like you said, like you mentioned earlier about the whole carrot thing, and they still have the eyes on the prize, and they're still trying to work harder. And I guess some John Lynch isn't going back to TV like everybody speculated. So.
Yeah, that's what shocked me really, was because for the last few years, that's all we've heard, is, oh, John Lynch is going to go back to TV. John Lynch is going to go back to TV, and then we're going to extend him for another handful of years. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
How do you forget about Laura Cat?
I said she was there. I mentioned that she was there.
Hey, Laura.
Remember when I mentioned the Tony Cope thing? I was like, yeah, Tony and Laura were there too. So.
Laura, I would have been making inappropriate jokes as always, and Laura Cat would have probably been giggling, not getting into him, but you probably hear her snickering in the back when I'm saying, bad shit.
she kept making fun of me for having my phone out, but I was just kidding about that. But what her and I were kind of making when I mentioned the whole thing about when Purdy was doing bad in the beginning where he was questionable. Yeah, we did make that joke about, hey, I'm going to go check my Twitter and see if Ted's saying anything. And she's the first one who spotted Steve Young, by the way. I didn't know where she went, and I thought she was.
I liked
lost.
how you get that out right as I put it on the screen.
Yeah,
you knew it was coming.
Well, I thought she was lost, and I was like, well, I saw where everybody else was, and she like drifted off into Never Neverland, and also I see her, and she had this weird look on her face. I'm like, well, what's going on here? And she was crying tears of joy. I'm like, okay. But I didn't know they were tears of joy. And then she goes, oh, I met Steve Young. I was like, oh, really? Oh, cool. Where is he? It's like, oh, he's right over there. And it was funny because when she pointed out he was right over there, I literally walked by that group of people, about 2 or 3 times. But maybe Steve Young had just walked over there, but I didn't realize he was just there until she pointed him out. I was like, oh, okay, that's Steve Young right there. And I think he was standing next to his daughter because he was with this big group of like elementary school kids or middle school girls or whatever, and he was throwing footballs to them, and I'm pretty sure one was his daughter. I'm not sure though. But I mean, hats off to him. He talked to everybody, pictures with anybody who came up to him, talked to everybody. I didn't want to bombard him for too long, but it was really cool to meet him. And when I saw him when I was a freshman in high school at a Warriors game, I always had my regret that I never walked up to him. But keep in mind, I didn't even have a camera with me back then. Cameras weren't nowadays. Everybody has a camera on their phone, right? But I saw Bill.
You didn't have your little 110.
Nah, my dad's a big camera guy, so he didn't even bring a camera with him to that Warriors game that we went to. It was a Warriors playoff game. But I saw on the court side, right after the game, I saw Bill Walsh, Jerry Rice, Ronnie Lott, Eric Davis, and Steve Young all having a conversation. And I just remembered me and somebody else, I forgot who was, some random person, like, hey, what's up, Steve Young? And he waved back to us. We were about 15 feet away from him. But like, till this day, I was like, why didn't I ever walk up to those guys? But I don't know. I kind of felt like, oh, I don't want to bother them. They're these big time 49er NFL hot shots, NFL legends. And who am I? I'm just some 16-year-old kid.
So don't worry about the tears of joy, Laura Cat. I might be a little emotional seeing Steve Young too. He's like, he was my quarterback. You know what I mean? Like everybody else, I thought all like Joe Montana, and they were talking shit about my quarterback, Steve Young. I'm sure Miriah probably feels the same way. Like us younger crowd really liked Steve Young.
Mm-hmm.
And the older crowd didn't. They wanted Joe Montana because that was what they had seen. And I get it, but I can't unsee what I saw or what I felt, and that was my quarterback.
Yeah,
that's my quarterback,
right?
If we win the Super Bowl, I'll definitely have some tears of joy. Last time I had tears of joy game was that because that was like a year removed from me losing my brother, and I was just thinking about my brother and all the memories him and I had at Candlestick because we had season tickets together, and just an amazing play, just a final send off for Candlestick. All these thoughts and my whole 49er career as a 49er fan, if you want to call it that, just flash right in front of my eyes, and I put my head down. I started crying. So it was just a very rare experience.
Yeah. So let's get into the Cardinals game. The Cardinals just whooped up on the Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys, them boys.
They were down one of their defensive weapons and 3 of their starting offensive linemen. But I still think they should have won that game. But if you watched it or seen the score, they didn't. What do you think is the big keys for us going up against the Cardinals this Sunday?
Go first, Miriah, or you want me to go?
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, the one weapon on the Cardinals that really stands out to me, and sure, we have been doing a pretty good job at stopping the run as of late. Had a couple of scares from our former 49er playing against us, Matt Breida, early on the game where he was having some good runs, but in general, we need to stop this guy, James Conner. I thought this guy was pretty much done in the league. Not that I thought he was terrible or he sucked or anything. I just didn't think he was a threat. I remember he came, he was on the Pittsburgh Steelers one year back in 2018. Look at the numbers right now. Actually, he had about 12 touchdowns, 973 yards, and he took over. He wasn't expected to do anything that year, but he took over for their injured running back. The name escapes my mind. and he did pretty well. And he had one game against us where I think he had about 3 touchdowns, and he trucked Drake Kirkpatrick, which was our quarterback that we had at the time. He made him look foolish. He had himself a nice game that day, and he was making the Cowboys look silly. The Cowboys, they cannot stop the run at all. Their run defense looks really, really weak and sorry. And you know, we just got to stop this guy. And I think that's the first thing we got to do.
Yeah, I'm with you.
What about their quarterback?
Well, their quarterback's just Dobbs. He's just been doing enough to get them by. He is 17 for 21, 189 yards and a touchdown. So
I'm scared.
I mean, it really is. It's really the James Conner show, and them getting like fluke things happening on special teams. Defense getting plays. It's not like they have much offense going there.
Okay.
I mean, if you look at their receiving core, Michael Wilson. I don't even know who this guy is, to be honest with you. Marquise Brown, I definitely know who that is. Rondale Moore, he's a nice little fill-in player, but there's nobody on paper, at least if you look at this roster, there's nobody on that team that really worries me or scares me. But at the end of the day, it is a divisional game, and we all know how divisional games go. And we just can't take opponents lightly. But I definitely want to blow these guys out at the same time though too.
Hollywood Brown against us is just collateral damage. Like he's just somebody just about ready to get hurt because we hit hard and he is a tiny guy.
I'm gonna say the Cardinals beat us before with their backup quarterback, so definitely not a team for them to take lightly. And I don't think they will, especially watching the Cardinals just beat the Cowboys. And the Cardinals have been pretty much, in each game so far this season. So, it's not like they've just gone in there and laid down like we thought that they, were going to. They've been pretty competitive. So
both teams in this division we thought were just going to be trash are punching above their weight, as we would think. But obviously it's their weight. Yeah. Sorry, my nose is really
bloody. When we lost to the Cardinals at one time, it was it Colt McCoy was the quarterback, and he was our former backup quarterback during the Harbaugh era one of the years.
You don't have that name etched into your brain?
Colt McCoy? Oh yeah, I sure do. It's just we lost 31-17. It was really, really embarrassing at home. And I definitely do not want to relive that. And Brock Purdy is from the state of Arizona. I believe he grew up as a Cardinals fan. I mean, there's a picture of him with Patrick Peterson wearing a Cardinals jersey at their stadium. And so, pretty sure he went to play of Arizona Cardinal games, and he should be pretty hyped up for this game.
I thought he was a Dolphins fan. His dad's a Dolphins fan. Yeah, he wears 13 because of Marino.
Yeah, I guess it was kind of both, though, because they're a local team. I don't know.
Are you making stuff up?
I saw him wearing the jersey. I saw him wearing the Cardinals jersey at a Cardinals game. So I'm just throwing that in there.
What up, David?
Niner. What's up?
Red Chickens.
What's your predictions on the Red Chickens?
Predictions. Hey, we're gonna put up at least we're gonna put up 35 points, and they're gonna put up what 13. 35-13.
I'm going 31-13.
How about you, Ryan?
Going 35-17.
Really quick, I know it's a little off top. We're going back to the Giants game, but I want to bring it up really quick because we didn't talk about it earlier. We kind of skipped over it. Were you guys okay with the play from the offensive line in that game? Because I didn't recall seeing any moments where McKivitz looked terrible or looked like he got beat really, really bad or anything like that. So hopefully that's something that carries over to this week and to the weeks after. And again, I'm not a huge McKivitz fan, like in terms of I don't think he's necessarily the answer, but I will give credit where credit's due. O-line in general to me looked pretty good. I never saw Purdy like flustered, and they did a good job of handling the blitz and all that. So
I don't know. I was watching earlier, and Burford tried to pass off one of the interior rushers, and the center was already engaged, and so it just left that rusher free to go after Purdy. So I watched that. I don't
when they have
know.
6, 7, 8 guys coming at them all game, that's gonna happen. They can't
Well,
stop everybody.
I know, but you gotta stop the interior guys first. So look, I'm not saying I don't know whose fault it was. It could be a lapse of judgment by Burford. It could be a wrong line call by Brunskill or
Not Brodsko, what's his name?
yeah,
The center. His name's
Brendel.
totally escaped. Brendel. Jake Brendel.
Yeah. So it could have been I don't know exactly what it was. I just know that it wasn't done correctly. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you're right. They're supposed, but it should have been the outside guy and not the inside guy. Yeah, I haven't been able to go over the game so much. I should have.
I tried watching it here and there, and there were times I tried to watch it, and I was kind of by the time the third or fourth quarter were on, I was dozing off. In terms of trying to rewatch it, but yeah, I'll do a better job of trying to watching it again.
I wish I could watch it with like a little knob where I could just roll it back a little bit to go back in time a little bit, then just press button to play, and then
I was watching on the Amazon Prime replay. I don't know if anybody has Amazon Prime. Their interface sucks in terms of rewinding and forwarding, things like that. It's not like YouTube where it's just everything's so smooth or anything like that. So there were times I was trying to forward over commercials and then I'd kind of go a little too fast. What are you eating there, Ryan? Cup of noodles?
chili.
Oh, okay. I thought it was some cup of noodles, some top ramen or something.
No, I don't eat that like soup. I make my ramen like chow mein.
Okay. I made some beef stroganoff earlier. Ate a little bit before the show started. Second time I made it.
Cream of mushroom soup, man. It makes me feel sick.
Oh, you don't like any type of mushroom type base gravy?
Like I start eating it, right? Like I'll smell it. I'll be like, "Ooh, that smells good," right? I'll put some on my plate, and it's usually like it's a one dish meal, right? A one part meal because you're not having anything else with it. It's usually just noodles and right? And then the meat in it, right? So I'll get my plate and I'll get a third of the way through, and then all of a sudden my stomach feels like not getting nauseous. It's something about to get a certain amount of that cream soup in me, and then all of a sudden I just can't do it anymore.
Yeah, everybody's different.
It's weird. So I like to use like cream of celery soup and such like that. My pot roast recipe is you put your pot roast in the crock pot. You put 2 packets of Lipton onion soup recipe over the top of that, and then you empty a can of your whatever cream soup that you like. Like I said, cream of celery. That's what I use. Throw whatever you want in it. 8 hours low, or 6 to 8 hours low.
You're running it for 8 hours. Damn, you throw it in the crock pot?
Well, 6 to 8, depending on the size of the bad boy.
Dang.
You know? Sometimes I don't care about potatoes. I don't put potatoes and stuff in there. I don't give a damn about that. I want pot roast for pot roast sandwiches, day afters.
Do you want pot roast or you want pot?
Well, both. I want to be high on pot while I'm eating pot roast sandwiches.
Bad joke. Anything else going on? We can talk about you know what? I didn't want to bring this up, but why is it that we cannot escape this everywhere we go? I'm turning on the TV, turning on the radio, going on a Twitter feed, going on Facebook. Any form of media acts like this is just news, and we have to be, yesterday my mom asked me, "Oh, how's Travis?" I'm like, "Travis, what are you talking about? What's going on with Travis?" I'm like, what do you mean? And she goes, he's on the 49ers. And then she really warped my brain when she said Travis on the 49ers. I'm like, Travis on the 49ers? What are you and I was thinking about this special teams player we had years ago named Travis Jersey. And I was thinking that's the only Travis I could think of that ever played for the 49ers. And then she said something about Taylor Swift. I was like, oh, you're talking about Travis Kelsey, like 49ers. I was like, no, he plays for the Chiefs. But they both wear red jerseys though. So I guess that's where she got. But she probably saw it on TV, God knows how many times, because it's like, who cares? Okay, wow, he went to Taylor Swift is supposedly dating him or whatever, and his jerseys jumped up at 400% sales, and hopefully it's the last we hear about it. Hopefully this isn't a continuous thing. That's all we hear about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelsey, blah, blah. And if anything, I hope we play, if we do get to the Super Bowl, I hope we do play the Chiefs and beat the brakes off of them. So there you go.
There you go.
Oh, I like this comment. Ryan sounds like tropical, this is from Terradome. Ryan sounds like tropical thunder. I want pot while eating pot roast out of a pot. Like I'm a dude playing a dude. Okay.
All right.
I like Terradome's retro movie references.
Terradome, I want you to go look up after this I'm a Dude, a song that's made essentially from that line. I'm a dude playing a dude, disguise as another dude. He takes that up and he makes a cool little song. It'll blow your mind. It's kind of good, but also like you're laughing your ass off because it's what it's come from. At least I'm not like Jack Black, who wants to capture the bat. He's all strung out and like trying to hunt down the bat. You know what I mean? Because the bat got his Skittles.
What movie did that happened with Jack Black in?
Thunder.
I was going to tell you guys earlier. I still have yet to see that movie, as I couldn't get over that one character, dude. I just couldn't do it.
You gotta see it. Oh my god, it's fucking hilarious.
Everybody says that. Everybody tells me that.
Oh my god, buckle up, buddy. Buckle up, buddy. Hey,
okay.
Go get yourself some edibles or something and get ready. Buckle up.
I'd like to get some. Wish I had some during the game.
You will giggle your ass off so hard that it's done so well. It's done so well. It had to be done well or it would be terrible.
There'd be a backlash.
Oh, there would definitely be a horrible backlash if you had done this an ounce wrong. But I think they did it perfectly right. I think
that's a consensus. I do hear it's really, really good. And a lot of people say it's funny and they're not offended by it. So I take a while with movies sometimes. There's certain movies that like for example, Shawshank Redemption. It took me years to finally watch that one. And there are a few movies
like every time it's on.
Oh yeah, I like it though. It's really, really good. It's very long, but it's a great, amazing movie. Awesome
One
movie.
Of the best ever.
Okay, so what other comedies would you recommend there, Ryan?
I don't know, lots of them. One that no one ever hears about, and I just think it's freaking hilarious. It's a comedy called Noises Off with Michael Caine in it, and it's got Christopher Reeve. It's what if there was the show in there was the show in the 80s where like it was the brother that lived in New York, and then he found his long lost brother from some like Transylvanian company, Bilko or something like that. Well, the brother from New York was in that show. There's like a whole bunch of people that you'd notice that's in that. And it's all about like doing this play, and it's like the rehearsal and all this stuff, and just everything goes wrong. It's freaking hilarious. Noises Off.
Michael Caine. Wow.
Michael Caine.
It's from 1982 from what I'm looking at right here.
It should 1982.
Noises Off?
Yeah.
Oh, that's when the play was released.
Yeah, this should be 96. No, 92.
Oh, 92.
Maybe
okay,
like 92.
10 years later. Oh, John Ritter's in it. There you go.
John Ritter, yes.
I love John Ritter. Well, I was going to say, I don't think of comedy when I think of Michael Caine.
I'm telling you, you're going to die fucking laughing. That movie used to get me going so hard. Like that movie to this day probably gets me non-audible more than any other movie.
I notice so sometimes you bust up and laugh in hysterical laughter, and I'm just sitting there all quiet, like Not that I don't like to laugh, but I don't know. I just laugh at certain things that other people don't, or vice versa. But I'll take your word for it. I just love comedies, and I feel like whenever we talk about movies or whatever movies I haven't seen, I always think to myself like, what are the great comedies that I've missed out on all these years, and which ones should I catch up
You've seen
on?
Blazing Saddles, right?
No, I heard about it ever since I was a
Oh
kid.
my
Never saw it.
God. Get the fuck out of here. Go watch Blazing Saddles. Holy Jesus.
I know it's a classic. Everybody says it's a classic.
Oh, they talk so much good shit in that movie. It's like
I can picture Pterodome talking about Blazing Saddles. He probably has I can just picture him getting up behind the mic and using that tone of voice. His Blazing Saddles. Oh, that's one of the all-time greats. I could just picture him getting all happy talking about it.
They make racists look like the idiots that they are. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I heard there's a lot of racial comedy in that. I just haven't seen it.
Oh my God. My favorite part is there's the line and the gentleman jumps out and says, "Where are the white women at?" And I love that part. It always gets me going.
See, yeah, I was right.
Classic.
It's a fan.
You also got to watch History of the World Part 1.
That's another one that I didn't see and that I kept hearing about. Those two.
I gotta go pay. You know what? I might do that tonight. Pay for a Hulu subscription so I can watch History of the World Part 2. It's on Hulu. But yeah, anything by Mel Brooks you need to watch.
I saw Spaceballs.
Yeah. Richard Pryor was supposed to play the lead. Yes, he was, but people were scared because Richard Pryor was, a man who wasn't scared to say what he thought, and they thought that, he'll turn people away from the movie, but yet he was the biggest comedian in the 80s, 70s, late 70s
awesome.
going to the so like
Richard Pryor was hilarious.
I don't get it. He wasn't just supposed to play it. He wrote that movie with Mel Brooks, I believe. Like a lot of that stuff was Richard Pryor in there. And there was also some ad lib by the actor, which was amazing. There's some ad lib in there. I think remember when they welcome him to the town and he goes inside the sheriff's office? I think that I can't remember if that's an ad lib or not.
Oh, just had a reminder. Just wanted to give a birthday shout out to my dad. I don't know if he doesn't watch really that much, but if he just happens to click on YouTube and watch, it's his birthday. And I got the reminder because I totally forgot that Laura Cat's dad and my dad share the same birthday, which is weird. And my first cousin, Nora, she also has the same birthday as well. So September 26th, a lot of people I know are having birthdays. There you go.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yes.
So
Jinx.
I think we're Oh yeah. So I think we're out of here. I think this is
yeah.
Why don't we start with Miriah and Miriah, let everybody know what you got going on the rest of this week. See, look, then she pops the camera back on.
No, she is.
Well, I wasn't just gonna sit here while you guys were talking about movies.
I was hoping you'd jump in, Miriah.
To be doing.
Give me some movies to watch.
No, I'm not a big comedy movie person. So,
really?
What kind of movies do you like?
I don't know. It just depends. I wasn't really into movies when I was like young or anything. So a lot of movies, like I barely just like started really like, cause my ADD was so bad that I wouldn't be able to pay attention to a movie. Like as soon as I'd be like 5 minutes into it, like my mind's elsewhere and I have no, like I'll sit there and stare at the TV and watch like I'm watching the entire movie, but my brain just don't register anything of it. It's not only since I've been with my wife, so like 10 years now, that I've really got into movies and sat down, and she's made me rewatch a lot of movies that I said, oh, I watched that before, but really I had no clue what it was about. So yeah. But tomorrow at 3, me and TL will be on, and then Thursday at 3 Pacific time is the show, the Two Goat Show with me and Steph Sanchez. So yeah, Back-to-back days, Wednesday, Thursday, both at 3 Pacific time. Stop by 49 Faithfully. We appreciate it.
Terradome says he bets that you can almost quote all of Purple Rain.
No.
What is your favorite movie? Do you have one?
Probably I like Set It Off. That's a movie I can quote for sure.
Okay.
Have
you ever seen Pulp Fiction?
I have, but I haven't.
Gotcha.
That's something I need to watch again.
It's been one of my favorites since I was 11.
Dang.
Love that movie.
My wife, she's like a cartoon, like
took me
Disney Channel, like everything. So like we watch a lot of Disney movies now. Like so yeah.
Gotcha. Bashar, what you got going on this week?
Got going on. Well, it's always the same old. I mentioned Ted earlier that I'm gonna try my best to defend Brock if push comes to shove with Ted on Friday. Usually Fridays at 3:00. Ted and I we skipped one this past week, but we'll definitely be back doing that again. And might be going live a little later tonight, or if it's not, I'll do it tomorrow. So just connect with me on my Twitter. Check out my community tab on my YouTube. I always announce the shows on there, and also on my 49er Minded Facebook group. Whenever I do go live, I put I tag everyone in the group and they get a live alert from me. If you don't, assuming you don't get the live alerts from the YouTube app, because some people are subscribed to my YouTube and they hit the bell notification and they're supposed to be getting live alerts, but YouTube messes those up and they don't get the live alerts on the fly like they're supposed to. So it's another way of finding out when I go live. So yeah, definitely check me out. And I like to do a lot of collabs on other people's channels and a lot of spur of the moment type of stuff and good times. Oh shit, you sent the wolf. That's all I had to say.
That's all you had to say.
All you had to say.
Shit.
What was it? What was
there's
that?
something
Is that
else
a line
in there
from
that
movie?
I can't. Like, yeah.
Is that a line from? Is that a Pulp Fiction line?
Yeah.
Okay. I only saw the movie once.
Just like I'm Winston Wolf, I've solved problems. That's when they open up the door, he's standing there. I'm Winston Wolf. I solve problems.
Yeah, movies that I can. Go ahead.
Do you like mahogany? I like mahogany. I
just remember the Royale with cheese line, the Royale with cheese or some crap like that. I remember that one.
With cheese. Yeah, I've seen that movie. My mom took me to that movie when I was 11 in the theaters 3 times, and I just love it. But I can't stand the screaming lady in the one scene. And then I love Christopher Walken, but I fast forward through Christopher Walken point 2. But you shouldn't if you haven't seen it at all first yet. You need to see it enough times. There's some things in there, like you're gonna see some things you'll be like, little 11-year-old Ryan was watching this go down, and not just like, oops, I didn't know this was gonna be in there, but oh yep, let's go back to watch the movie again, honey. Yeah, let's go back to why I like this movie. This is a great movie.
Diana Ross and Billy D. Williams. Is that also from Pulp Fiction? I don't know. I don't get that reference at all.
Yes. The Bonnie situation. Yeah.
I like quoting like the movie Half Baked. The movie Half Baked. I'm good at quoting. Billy Madison, I think with Adam Sandler, has endless quotes in it. A lot of those like dorky little funny movies, like those type of quotes resonate in my head a lot.
There is great lines in Pulp Fiction. Like, you got to understand, it was like a masterpiece. You guys really need to go watch it and then report back. I'm telling you, it's a really good movie, and it's cut up all hella weird. So you're gonna have to probably watch it twice.
That's what I hated. It wasn't. That's what I hated. It was all weird. It went back and forth and back and forth.
It's okay. It's okay. You'll be able to figure it out. I was able to do it at 11. You know what I mean?
11.
Yeah, I saw it. The first time I ever saw it was 11 years old. It came out.
Really?
Came out in 1993.
Okay.
I saw it. Oh, I can't remember the name of the theater, but it was in Concord, and there
Oh yeah,
was
Conquer.
a Domino's pizza underneath it. No,
Mm.
not Domino's, Round Table. There was a Round Table pizza underneath it. That was,
Anywhere
I
near
believe,
the
right next
mall?
to.
Anywhere near Sun Valley Mall?
Well, it was in a strip mall, and it wasn't near Sun Valley
Okay.
Mall, but it was in a strip mall that had like a fancy diner restaurant that served pies, and it was like right next to the Bank of America building in there in Concord.
Okay.
So, because my mom would always go and get money at the bank over there. The main office was
Money in
right
the
there
bank.
where you park in the thing. But yeah, I could tell
Okie
you.
dokie.
I know exactly where it was. I could drive right there right now. I can't tell you what it is, but I could drive right there and point. Yep, right there. 1994.
Okay, I'm gonna go
1994.
because my Aces are in playoffs and
Yeah.
the game
Yep.
just started. So
There you go. Hope your team wins.
thank you.
We're out. Thanks, everybody.
Peace. Go Niners.
See you guys.